What's going on, everybody? In this video right here, I'm going to go over RepairBase, how I use RepairBase, how I transfer my bids from a bid sheet to RepairBase, and just kind of go through logging each individual line item. And it'd be a good opportunity for you to see within their program here. You'll want to go to RepairBase.net. You'll need to buy a credit or some credits. It's $9.99 per property you run a RepairBase on, and you get 25 tokens or per property. So basically, you can submit 25 separate bids for calculation per property. You'll go in, once you get the token, you'll create the RepairBase for that property, put the address in there, it'll pull up home size, all that good stuff. It's very important that you put the right address in there the first time, because once you hit confirm, there's no going back. And the companies that you're submitting the RepairBase to are going to require that the right property be at the top of the RepairBase when you submit it to them. So let's get this party started. So what I did is I just looked through some photos and drummed up a pretty generic bid sheet here. This is how mine would look. I have Microsoft Word on my phone, so I would type something like this up in the field, and my mother actually does the RepairBases for me. She's a lot quicker at it than I am, I'm sure, so if you see me fumbling my way around it, just bear with me. But this is the bid sheet. This is how I would create it in the field. And when I got home, I would airdrop this document to my computer, and I would get to building the RepairBase. So the first thing that we are going to start with is remove and replace this interior door. And I have my dimensions, so I'm going to copy this. I'm going to go to add item. I'm going to go down here to doors, interior doors, remove interior doors single. Okay, I'm going to put my quantity 1, and I'm going to paste my notes from my bid sheet, except for I'm going to delete the part that says remove and replace. So I have my notes in there, and then I'm going to go and we're going to replace this. Now I always do remove or replace. I always try to choose. I don't choose the best quality stuff, but I choose the second best quality stuff, because you need to cover your expenses, and a lot of times you're limited to what you can get in a short amount of time. So it's best to just make sure you have all that covered. So I go with better, replace interior door only. 1, paste the same exact thing, except this time I'm deleting the replace part. Man, I did that backwards. I need to fix that. So I'm leaving the replace. And if you do screw up like I just did, you can go back and go to this line item. Actually, I didn't screw up. Yeah, I did it right. But if you screw up, that's how you do it. You just go back, and then right there you can click edit. So that is the first line item. So we'll highlight it so we know we've done it. And then we also need to remove and reattach the doorknob when we replace that door. We don't want to forget that. So hardware, replace doorknob. And it's a locking doorknob, so we'll go with better. And since we're removing that door, we're not gonna charge them to remove the lock set. Now, I would just go buy a new one that matches to put it on there. I wouldn't use the old one because you're charging them to replace it. So I feel like you should replace it and do, you know, what you tell them you're gonna do. But that's just me. So we'll add that. We'll highlight this one. Remove ×1 mimosa tree sapling in front of the house. Now, I have saplings throughout here, and a lot of people would just combine them all and put them under one line item. I do not like to do that. I like to have every single line item separated so that when my crew goes back out there to do the approval, I feel like it's simplified, and they can start at the top, work their way to the bottom, do a line item, and line it out. So come down here to where it says landscaping, trees and shrubs, and then you can Control F or Command F if you're on Mac and type saplings and go down here. So you have one line item that says first sapling. So the first sapling, and I suppose it's because you have to get your tools out of the truck and all that other good stuff. It costs more than the remaining sapling. So on this specific one, we'll make sure we choose the first sapling, and we'll paste this, and then add estimate, add to estimate, and we'll highlight that one. Trim ×4 18-inch crepe myrtles growing down left side of home, touching fascia and roof. So copy. We're going to go back here to trees, and we're trimming the trees. So we're going to want to go down here to right here. So these are just like the saplings. They have a first tree, and then they have all the additional trees. So we have trim ×4, 18-inch diameter. So we're going to want to choose the first tree option first. And then in our notes, we're going to want to change this to 1. And then add. And then we're going to have to go back down here, find that line item again, except this time we're going to select the 9 to 18-inch diameter each added tree. So we're going to select it. We're going to paste our line item, except this time we're going to put ×3 parentheses additional. Add the estimate. So that covers that. So highlight it. Demo 20 foot by 25 foot rear deck as it is rotten and dilapidated, parentheses, total loss. So we'll come back over here to RepairBase. We're going to go down to demo and see if we can find, let's see. We are going to do this under demolish and remove complete wood structure 1 story, including equipment, foundation, permits, and debris removal. So we're going to paste our line item here. We're going to get our square foot from our measurements, so 20 times 25, and we're going to put the square foot here. Add to estimate. Go back and highlight it. Remove and replace 30 linear foot of gutters left rear of property, including downspouts and 190-degree elbow. So highlight it. We're going to go back. Let's find our gutters. I feel like gutters is one of them that's kind of a pain to find in here. It has a search database that you can use, and it has your category and then your subsection, so you can really, when you search like gutters, you can see what category it's in, and then you can go back and go to that specific category, and then it'll put you where you need to be. So gutters and downspouts. So remove vinyl gutters, which these are metal gutters, per linear foot. So let's paste our line item. 10 of that linear foot I had in there for the downspout, so we're going to remove and change that to 20 because the downspout on this specific property is missing. So we don't want to add a remove line item for that. Delete that, and then delete the replace. So add that. Okay. And then we're going to go to replace. So this, like the trees, it has your first 10 linear foot and then each additional linear foot beyond the first 10 linear foot. So you're going to want to make sure that you select this one, paste it, and you can just put replace. Now, to simplify things, let's see. You can see the line item here for downspouts. Just make sure that you have all your downspout measurements. But I mean, it's a pretty general thing. So most of the time I don't even measure them anymore. I just make sure that I get my linear foot measurement, as far as the gutters are concerned, and then count how many downspouts I need throughout the house. And if there's one that's coming off the second floor, then I would just estimate it as best as I could. So we're going to change this to 20 linear foot of gutters left rear of property, and we're going to delete that part because we're going to put an individual line item for that. And then we're going to put parentheses, first 10 linear foot. This quantity will be 1 because it's first 10 linear foot. So this line item right here includes 10 linear foot. So you only want the quantity 1, not 10. So we can copy this and then add estimate. And then we'll go right here to the next one, which is each additional linear foot. We can replace that. Change this to additional 10 linear foot, and then the quantity on this one will be 10 to represent the extra linear foot there. So add, and then we come down here to downspout, replace seamless, seamless steel first 10 linear foot. That'll cover the entire downspout. So we're going to select it, replace, we're just going to put 10 linear foot of downspout left rear of property. We're going to put comma, includes elbow, and delete that. And just like on the gutters, this is the first 10 linear foot, so the quantity will remain 1. Add the estimate. Go back to our bid sheet, highlight it yellow. While the gutters are down, we're going to want to replace the fascia and the soffit. So we're just going to copy that, we're going to go down here, exterior walls and fascia. It is wood fascia, so remove fascia board only, demo only. So we're going to take and delete the replace part for now. Delete all that. Actually, I'm going to add that just to make it easy. Then I'm going to put my linear foot here. Add to estimate. Then we're going to go to replace. Replace fascia board up to 8 inches. This was 6 inch, so it'll be this. Line item, remove fascia board up to 8 inches wood, which is what it is. So we'll come back up here, change our quantity to 20, paste. This time it has an aluminum fascia cover over it that we're going to be able to remove and reattach. I'm not going to put a line item in there for that because it's going to save us from having to paint the fascia. So, you know, it really just benefits me, so I'm not going to add a line item for that. So that covers the fascia. Some people call it fascia. Some people call it fascia. Some people call it fascia. I guess to each is their own. So I know down here where I'm from, we just pronounce things the way we want to pronounce them, and we're not really concerned about the way you're supposed to pronounce them. So now we're going to do the soffit. So remove soffit. It's the same measurement, the 20 linear foot, quantity 20. Get our verbiage right, add to estimate. Now let's go back over here to replace. Replace soffit, it was 24 inch soffit. So that'll cover that. Change the remove to replace quantity. They do it by the linear foot. So add to estimate. So that's good. Okay. Remove and replace 400 square foot, 4 square of architectural shingle, right rear of the home above damaged gutters fascia, and soffit includes tear off replacement of shingles, felt, and installation of 20 linear foot of ridge cap during a roof. Yep, okay. Okay, so copy that. Let's go back over here. Let's go down and find roofing. And asphalt shingles. Okay, remove single layer. Square foot is going to be 400. we're going to delete that. Alright, and delete everything but the part about tear off, add to estimate. There's not a individual remove line item for the felt. I guess they understand that when you take the shingles off, most of the felt comes up with it, so I don't ever include that. You go down here to your replace, and you have a lot of options here, and I have to actually read through these to figure out. Okay, right here. Replace asphalt shingle, dimensional laminated, 40-year lifetime. This is, it gets me very, very close to what fair market price down here for replacing what we call architectural shingles. I don't know what people up north call them, and I know that we call things, like I was just saying, a little different. But this is the one that I always use for the architectural, and then the 3-tab is just the 3-tab. So I go here. I paste my line item, delete the remove part, leave the replace part, remove the includes tear off part, put back the includes part, placement of shingles, felt, and it does not include the ridge cap, so we'll delete that. So square foot, 400. And do not forget to do your ridge cap if there is a ridge cap, because if you forget to put it in here, from a square footage standpoint, then you're going to have to buy basically, however many or however much ridge cap for free. So make sure you do not forget your ridge cap. So replace ridge cap, asphalt shingle, first 10 linear foot. And you can take all this off. Leave that one because, like I said, we got to do our first 10 linear foot. Then we can come back and get the second linear foot, or second 10 linear foot. Add to estimate, come back down here. Here's your each additional 10-foot section. So this, the way that it's worded, the quantity 1 covers 10 foot. What we're doing is 20, so it'll remain 1. Parentheses, and we'll put additional 10 linear foot, total of 20 linear foot. So add to estimate. So that covers that part of it, okay? Remove and replace 20 linear foot of trim over fascia on the exterior sunroom, rear room. So I don't believe there's a line item for the trim, so I think we're just gonna do remove and replace the fascia, and then we'll only remove and replace the trim. That's the way that I've done it in the past because there's not a line item and I've never had any issues with it. So we'll go back to fascia and remove fascia board. We're gonna paste our line item here. Change this to 20. Add to estimate and then replace. Same thing back down here where we were. Paste. Change this to 20. Delete the remove part. Add. Okay. So I mean, you can see it doesn't take a terrible amount of time, but you do kind of have to concentrate and work your way through it. So here we really have basically 2 rows of shingles right above that fascia there, that it just looks like somebody, to be honest with you, set a ladder up against it, and then the ladder fell and it just took all of the overhang with it. So a lot of the water is coming off the end of the broken shingles and coming in behind the fascia. So it's not going to be very much so we have to remove and replace, but it definitely needs to be done. Once we get through this roofing part of this bid right here, I think it'll go pretty quick, but this is just takes a little bit of time. So we're going to go to the asphalt shingles, remove single layer. I'm going to place this. This is 36. Delete the replace part. Leave all of our, leave all of that, delete that, add. Alright. And then replace. Go back to the same line item we chose earlier, select it, paste it. This time we're going to delete the remove. Then we're going to change this to 36 and add. So highlight that. Remove large 20-inch diameter mimosa tree growing around the HVAC condenser. So this is the part where you don't want to get screwed up with what you done earlier. So we've already done our first line item for trim, and we've also done our first line item for removing a sapling, but we have not done our first line item for removing a tree. So we're going to copy this, go to RepairBase. We're going to come down here to landscaping, trees and shrubs, and it's going to be right up here at the top. So what was the darn dimension? 20. So remove tree 19 to 38 inch diameter, first tree. So we're going to select this one, paste that in there, add the estimate. We are going to go back out here, highlight that. Here's our second, which is going to be remove large 24-inch diameter tree. Now we'll go back to each additional tree, paste that, put one, add. Go back here, highlight that. I'll put trim right here, but this actually needs to be removed as well. So we're going to fix that. Copy this, go back here. This time it will be 9 to 18 inch diameter tree. It'll also still be under each added tree, because we're still removing trees. So we'll put it here, add it there, one, add the estimate, go back here, highlight this, and then remove 4 saplings surrounding the dead crepe myrtle stump front, actually front house by front door. Okay, copy. Let's go back here. Another thing you can do, yeah, like we did earlier, is Control F, find it. So here we're going to be in each additional saplings, and you'll see when we run this thing, you get paid less for all the each additional, as you should. They should pay you more for the first one you do, and just like any other company, you know, the more you do, the less you get. Remove 4 saplings, so that's change this to 4. Add to estimate. That's done. Remove 9-inch diameter dead crepe myrtle stump in way of it. Like I said, you know, sometimes in your verbiage you can be a little dramatic. It just kind of helps you. I mean, don't tell bold-faced lies, but tell the truth in a dramatic fashion. So we're going to go back here. We're back here at remove each additional. Alright, and that is everything. So now, once you have everything logged in there, you go to return an estimate and just double check everything. Which we've done. 28 line items. Now, this is 28 line items, but this is $15 line items. So you can see once you start going through, and you can, you know, basically itemize. There's there's line items for remove and there's line items for replace. So your bid sheet that you put together in the field versus your RepairBase, normally, you know, you produce more line items going through RepairBase and doing it. So we're going to submit for calculation and we'll see what we come up with. So this is the cost of everything that we just went through. Now, you're not going to get this with some people. You're going to get 75% of this. And they may pick and choose what they want to pay. You know, they're going to submit this. The client's going to come back and they may say, we don't want to do, you know, that stump's not really in the way. You know, but a lot of the structural stuff they have to fix. So, you know, most of this stuff up here is most certainly going to get approved. I would say the doors and this stump down here is probably, if they were going to nix anything, that would be what they chose to nix. So yeah, I mean, this is why it's important to use a RepairBase. And this is, most of these companies, all of the ones that I deal with, but most of them across the board, I believe, accept some form of a cost estimator. RepairBase just happens to be the one that I stepped into first and learned how to use, and I really like it. But all of the companies that I do work for accept RepairBase. So, you know, like I said, it gives you a fair market price for what you're doing, and a lot of the times it comes out and it's better than what you would have come up with yourself. I've never had any issues using the RepairBase pricing and having, you know, wiggle room to turn a profit. I think Fannie Mae, to be honest with you, Fannie Mae is probably the one who reduces the price on stuff regardless of how you submit it. So, you know, I don't walk away from work. I try not to walk away from work. I truly believe in taking the good with the bad, but some of these Fannie Mae, you know, what they'll come back with, it makes it tough on you. So, I hope this video helped, and I hope it helped show you guys the simplicity of RepairBase and also the effectiveness of RepairBase. We use it for every single bid that gets submitted from this company goes through RepairBase. And now that you have the RepairBase, real quick, you go here, create a PDF, you download it, and this is what you're going to submit, and this is what it's going to look like. So this is what's going to, you know, the company. You see it has the address up here, it has blah blah blah, year it was built, all that good stuff, and then here is your bids. And you take that, you upload that, or, you know, like I was talking about in some other videos with some of these other companies that have their own system, you may have to basically redo what we just done one more time to input it into their system. But regardless, it's just the way this game is played, and you kind of have to do it. But that's what it'll look like. And then real quick, if let's say you 2-3 months down the road you've done this, something else comes up, you need to put in another bid, you can edit estimate, you can click delete area, it'll delete all of this, and you can re-add an area, which is basically nothing. It just basically recreates it and brings you back to the original screen where we're at when we started. And you'll have no line items, and you can start over again. And like I said, you can do that 24 times for the one $9.99 token, so it's well worth it. But like I say, I hope it helped you guys out. I hope everybody has a good day, and thank you for watching.